Crazy, huh? Listen, if I'm going too fast or this is making no sense or you think I'm full of...
No. Go on.
Okay, so now I go back to work, fully expecting to get fired for spying, but instead I get promoted. Benjamin Palmer himself, the CEO of Biocom, breaks the good news. He puts me in charge of this vital project called Lear Spec Silo, an extension of the global network I mentioned earlier. I smelled bullshit and did some more risky business in Palmer's project files. I scored some map data activation dates and a slew of numbers that turned out to be GPS coordinates. And here's where it starts to get loopy. What the shareholders know is that come next year, we're launching a low-flying SAT grid that will allow for very fast, very cheap, and very powerful information transfer anywhere on Earth, a truly wireless world. But what they don't know is that for some reason, Biocom has been testing the system on ELF bands, extreme low-frequency bandwidths like microwaves. The coordinates and dates I found show early node activations over a specific path. These first signals originated in Coast City, bounced across the ocean to a Pacific relay, beamed up to Japan, and then got filtered at this point in Saudi Arabia. Online intelligence shows that only one installation in that area had the hardware to process it. Know anything about a NATO desert base that struck camp early last week?
By Mohammed.
He had nothing to do with it. I work solo. I assume you were part of a contingent brought to the Valhalla base.
Some of the men would say I was an unwilling passenger.
Which brings us to the showstopper. I couldn't ignore the ELF signals, even if it was just a case of using them to supplement the network's data stream. It finally made sense when I arrived at the base and got briefed on the project, Lear Spec Silo. A Biocom chip gets attached to a series of nerves and is able to receive and transmit bundles of information on extremely low frequencies. When I found you, you were pumped full of haloperidol, a drug that puts the brain in a low-frequency receptive state. Therefore, neural activity would theoretically resonate with any data the chip outputs. Specs showed the chip directly affects the amygdala, the brain's fear center. The questions: why do this, and what signal is the chip receiving? I don't know the answer to either, but I have some theories. Remember Biocom's technology partners? Good, because there are project links to all of them. First, Imaxon, a booming company into genetic research, animal cloning, vaccine production, and biocomputing. Thanks to years of military and private investment, they finally announced neural transistor prototypes. This means that future computer processors could use actual human brain cells to divide information into ones and zeros. But for now, we'll just pay them for tech implants that don't get rejected by the immune system. Prismatech, a laser projection and holographic media company that seemed innocuous. I assumed that Biocom was using their tech in the satellite network to broadcast advertisements on the stratosphere, like Coca-Cola and Nike have done for special events. But why would their image decoders be embedded on the chip? And finally, there's Cogent, a long-time military contractor that specializes in broadband jamming setups, electromagnetic weaponry, and microwave relay equipment. This makes sense, as the implants would have to synchronize with the network in order to get an accurate tracking signal. This is a backdoor to the Valhalla database that I slipped in during your procedure. It shows that they were doing a full track on you until late last night, when a request was sent to Biocom. And a new signal was broadcast. Tell me, Orion, what happened to you last night? What stopped you from hitting me?
I was so small, helpless. Allah had left me. I'm sorry, I don't have your words.
Don't stress, man. Words just get in the way. That's why I use them. All right, one last question. Have you ever seen this?
The other.
I'll take that as a yes. I made this GIMP mock-up a few days after my computer freaked. I've seen it twice since. When did you?
I was in the desert, and something came to me. The moon was blood, the dark was alive. I was sick. Please, do you have any water?
Sure. We'll save the eye talk for later. See the big medical fridge over there? The sink's beside it. Glasses are in the cupboard to the right. Watch your step.
I am fine. But there is so much to think about. And I feel the time is short. The underground men. Do you think that they know about me?
That you're an imposter? I don't know. Keen sure acted like it.
But they let me go. They took me to the consulate.
Sure. And then they microwaved your brain.
I did not feel men in my mind. It was more.
I used to mock words like those, but after that night, my mind changed. It was insatiable. I couldn't feed it enough data. I was memorizing phone books for fun. With one long look, I could tell you how many hairs were on your head, plus or minus 100. Too bad you're bald. I could use the distraction.
An impressive gift. No need for machines. When one can recall the smallest detail, or relive a distant memory.
Gifts are curses, obligations. With great power comes great responsibility. At least that's what Uncle Ben told Spider-Man.
After all that has happened, after everything you have discovered, you should feel blessed to have a sense of purpose. Some would give their souls for that feeling.
The grass is always greener. I'd sell my soul right now for a Mars bar served on the navel of a blonde gymnast. But then I'd still have obligations, wouldn't I? Hold up. Looks like some activity on the network. That's weird. They're using the grid to pump radiation to the ionosphere. I remember reading about an antenna array in Alaska that could do the same thing. It's said to harness ELF pulses to take underground pictures, mess with global weather patterns, and even shoot... Oh shit. Find the image tab. There. Refining. 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 Oh God. It's locking on us. It's locking on us!
What is?
An EM buildup. It's aimed at us! They're targeting the chip. Locking from your last position. We have to get out. We have to get out! What the fuck? The door's locked from the inside! Oh God! We're trapped! I'm going to die.